Hello, everyone. This is Big Dan with Southern Extreme Podcast. I was just hopping on, going to talk a little bit about the college football playoff rankings. Today's Tuesday. You know, the fresh set of rankings will come out tonight. Just kind of wanted to get on here and talk a little bit. We had a little bit of changes this past weekend. The top four should stay about the same. But we'll kind of get going about it a little bit here, talking about the top 10. Now, of course, Oregon lost to Washington this past weekend. So they're going to fall out of the top 10. And then, of course, right on the edge. Now, last weekend I had Ole Miss in my top 10. I had them number 10. And Alabama was 9. Of course, Alabama beat Ole Miss. So, Ole Miss will fall out of my top 10. But anyhow, just getting started on my top 10 for this week. Now, I have put in, I really don't, I got Clemson kind of on down 11 or 12. I don't, in my opinion, Clemson's just weak right now, and they play in a weak conference. The ACC's not that stout, not that strong, in my opinion. But like I say, like and subscribe, put some comments, we can talk and carry on about it, have a little fun. That's what this is about. But, Clemson, they just don't, right now, they don't impress me. Don't play in a great conference. They got some decent, fair teams over there, but nothing that's just going to be no powerhouse, So anyhow, that kind of helped predict my top 10. So starting out at number 10, I got Penn State in there. James Franklin, he's got them. They playing as tough as they can play right now with what he's got. They're doing a pretty decent job in the Big Ten. I think they're 8-2 overall. So that I got them at number 10. And not to waste too much time, but then I got coming in at 9, I got Utah. I feel both of those teams could beat Clemson. So that's why I got them over Clemson, just because I think personally that Penn State and Utah could beat Clemson, but I wouldn't have Clemson in the top 10. The AP's got them in the top 10. I wouldn't have them in the top 10. I don't know where the college playoff rankings is going to have them. That's just my rankings. I wouldn't put them in the top 10. But I got Penn State 10, Utah 9. Now my 8th team is Alabama. They moved up a spot. They beat Ole Miss last weekend. So they bumped up a spot because Oregon lost. So anyhow, you move them to 8. Now 7th we have USC. Now coming into this weekend, USC will be at UCLA, and that's going to be a tough ball game. Actually, I look for UCLA to win that ball game. In my opinion, I believe USC's defense, they're going to give up way too much. I don't think USC, in my opinion, I just think UCLA's going to beat them. It's at UCLA, so it should be a good game. It's going to be a tight game. It's going to be a tough one. It should be a high-scoring game probably. But anyhow, that's where I got them sitting as number 7, USC. We're looking at next one coming in is going to be LSU at number 6. All that's pretty much going to stay the same as last week. I think they had Oregon up ahead of LSU. Flip-flop, but I didn't. I felt Oregon was going to lose another ball game, and they did. So I got LSU 6. And then we got, of course, LSU beat Arkansas. We had a tough ball game. It was a tough ball game. Won 13-10. It was cold weather set in. But we won. And Alabama beat Ole Miss, so that puts LSU in the SEC championship game against Georgia. Be a very tough ball game there. But LSU has a couple more games. Then we'll be off to the SEC championship. But anyhow, then we got Tennessee at number 5. And they just steamrolled Missouri this past weekend, 66-24. That was a tough one for Missouri. But anyhow, TCU comes in at number 4. They just beat Texas in a low-scoring game, 17-10. I think everybody looked for a little bit more points than that, but TCU did a great job defensively. Texas did a great job defensively too, just couldn't get nothing going offensively. Then coming in number 3 for me is Ohio State. Like I say, I got them at number 3. I got Michigan at number 2. Reason I got that is just the bottom line is they just don't play no competition. You look at both of them's schedule, neither one of them play play any strong competition. So whoever wins that ball game, and I feel like Michigan's going to win between them and Ohio State, the other team, which being Ohio State, if they lose, they're automatically going to be out. Won't be no one-loss talk with Ohio State and them. They don't have no non-conference wins or any big wins under their belt. That's, it's just, it's sad, But anyhow, like I say, got Michigan number 2. They have a tougher team, I believe. They're set to run the ball a little bit more. They're stronger defensively. They're a little bit set up a little bit better, in my opinion, than Ohio State is. They're set up to to be able to play against the SEC teams and stuff like that that are super tough. But anyhow, number 1, of course, is Georgia. I think Georgia's the, they are what they are. They're the big dogs. I think everybody else is playing for second right now, be honest with you. Because like I said last week, when Georgia comes to play, they come to play. You better be ready to tie it on because they're going to lock you down. But, it's tough, but that's why they play the game. We play it to see, but Georgia's tough to beat. But that's my top 10. I was proud to, I had one gentleman get on here and comment. I just wanted to talk a minute about Florida. Of course, they're not even in the top 25 or anything, but I just kind of wanted to go over and say what I think Billy Napier's doing a great job at Florida, and I think he will do a great job at Florida. But you got to look at, look at the losses that Florida has. They're 6-4 right now. Their only losses is to a number 1 Georgia team, number 6 LSU team, a number 5 Tennessee team. So they got 3 teams right there that they've lost to that's in the top 6. That's a tough schedule right there in itself. But they have 3 losses to them. They lost a tough one to Tennessee, 38-33. Their loss to LSU was 45-35, and then Georgia was 42-20. Georgia's tough. And then their 4th loss was to Kentucky, was their 2nd game of the season. They lost 26-16 by 10. That's when Levis was healthy with Kentucky, and everything was going pretty good. Of course, Kentucky was ranked 20th at the time. But, essentially, Florida's doing a great job. People just need to look at, their losses, who their losses are to, and they're all like that. But Napier's doing a great job at Florida. But anyhow, I just wanted to kick a shout out to, about Florida from a young man that he subscribed and wanted me to talk a little bit more about Florida for him. So there you go. We talked a little bit about Florida. They'll be fine going forward. He gets them a little bit more athletes. They just flipped the quarterback from Miami is now going to Florida. The Rashada kid, or I believe that's how you pronounce it. I apologize if I mispronounced it. But he's a big-time quarterback, was committed to Miami, but he's flipped now. He's going to go to Florida. So it looks like Florida's got him a good, talented quarterback coming in. And I know he's going to have some other great talent coming too. But anyhow, I appreciate everybody. Like and subscribe. Leave some comments. Get back with you. Talk about your team for you. But anyhow, thank you very much, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.